Hey, big boy. He's pretty big for a sav. A lot of them, like Penny behind me. Penny Penny's a female. Her little melon's sticking out from underneath this log. Watch this. Her little melon's like right there where my finger is,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's half his size. And then I got another foster out in the living room. His name's Arlo, and I
Mhm.
might call him later on. Arlo's a sweetheart. I think he's
Mm.
twice his age
Oh,
and half
okay.
his. There's
Wow.
lots of color. Yeah, there's lots of color variation within the species. There's lots of size variation within the species. Um, Most of the savanna monitors within the trade come from like Ghana and
Hmm.
Togo, that area of Africa,
Yeah.
but their range spans all the way down into the Congo. Like they have a huge range in
Wow.
Africa. And my friend Linnea, she lives in Sweden. She's been to Ghana and studied these guys in the wild.
Mm.
And she doesn't think that there's more than one species of savanna monitor, as to where I think there's multiple subspecies, which would explain the
Yeah.
variations in size, color, and the range is just so huge that it's just my suspicion. But there hasn't
Hmm.
been much like full study done on these guys besides what her and stop pissing at me, you big baby.
Hmm.
Besides what they did.
Is there any in Arizona, like native?
Monitors?
Yeah.
I don't I don't think there's any monitors native to the Americas. I think the New World equivalent of a monitor would be tegus. Monitors are usually like Africa, Asia, Australia,
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
we have tegus for the most part. Then they're down in South America, and then we have iguanas closer up to the United States.
Oh,
There is
okay.
there is native species of iguana to the United States. The blue iguana and the green iguanas that are in Florida are not technically native, I guess, but
Okay. Let
yeah,
me just
we don't
go.
know.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna open the door for my cat because then he's gonna crazy.
No problem. Glad you're shedding, big guy. Worried about you there for a little bit.
No. Okay. Can I stay out? All right.
I
All right.
forget you've seen Bubba before because I think I showed
Yeah.
you Bubba when I was on your show.
Yeah.
That's right. I forget. And then I'm always sending pictures and videos and reels to the group. But
Yeah.
I love showing off my Bubba. He's my best buddy.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna be preoccupied with picking shit. Well, we are recording, so we can kind of just go with the flow. At
Oh.
this point, I'm kind of just like overdoing the whole scripted intro because it just makes me awkward when I have to think about stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I tend to find that it's just better flow this way.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
So
Okay.
what are we talking about? Because I know you have a bunch of different hobbies. I know you love reptiles. I know you like arachnids. You
Yeah.
have like all your snakes, your lizards. You have your tarantulas.
Yes.
But you got other stuff too. What do we want to talk about today, sister? What's the haps?
Yeah. Do you want to
Please.
see one of them? It's kind of morbid.
All right. Well, yeah. Now that you say that, I'm not going to argue. Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll start with yeah. So this, you know how people do like they what's that word? Taxidermy.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of do that, but I do it in a different way. So I put the specimen in alcohol. I let the
Oh, you do
alcohol
wet
dry.
specimens.
Yes,
Okay.
but I let the alcohol dry out and then it dries out the specimen completely. So it's still intact and it does there's no like obviously it's air dried. It's air dried it's really tight. So nothing can get in and nothing can get out. No like decaying. It doesn't decay. So I guess yeah, there's two bodies in here. Male tarantulas. I don't know how well you can see that.
Oh, kind of blurry, but now that I know that they're tarantulas, it makes more sense. Now that I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
That's
So
wild. So what is that method called?
Cat's goth dry out method.
All right, we'll take it. We'll
Yeah.
take what got you into doing stuff like that? Because I've always wanted to dabble in it. Like I
Mhm.
I just recently got into pickling. I've been pickling
Okay.
stuff. I suppose it's kind of sort of the same, I guess. Am I wrong there? What, so tell me a little bit about
I guess it started when I was probably like 5 to 5. I don't know. But I was very young.
it. Mm.
Um, I first saw, we go to a funeral and we see bodies and everything. Um, I was so fascinated with just watching animals die, but not in a way where I was sad. I was more fascinated, like why they die, what happens after they die, and stuff like that. But of course, they're animals, and I wanted to preserve their life just by looking at them after they die. And so I would take bugs home or like mice or whatever, and I would just put it in a box or like a glass container or even like a bottle, and I would just watch them decay over time. And I was just like, that is so fascinating. Of course, I hid it in my room because no parent wants to see their child do that. But um,
Yeah.
it brought the curiosity. Yeah, right. But it brought the curiosity, and it made me want to study more. So throughout my whole life I just studied bugs since I was a little. So
So we
yeah.
have that in common because I used to do the same thing, and like I bet my mom will probably hear this and she'll go, "Oh my God, he did do that." So what I used to do is I'd take these Ziploc bags, and anytime I'd find like a cool beetle or some kind of cool bug out in the desert, I'd just throw it in a bag, Ziploc
Yeah.
it, and I'd tape it to the shelf that I had in my room, and it was just a shelf full of dead beetles and other
Yeah.
bugs. I called it my dead thing collection, and I thought they were super cool because I could just it was
Yeah.
my little way of checking out nature. Because
Yeah.
when I was younger, when I was still pretty little, I wasn't allowed to have my own pet reptiles or inverts
Hmm.
because my mom was like, "No, you're gonna kill it," or this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. And I think really she just didn't want that stuff in her house. But
Right.
she, all right, you don't want to hang out? That's fine, dude. That's fine. You don't have to hang. But you go on. Go now,
Bubba.
get. Go now, get. I'll go get Arlo later. Just don't bite my toes, please. Yeah, don't bite my toes, please. Stop licking my toes. That's weird. God, monitors are weird sometimes. Go
Ew.
on. Hey, I'm gonna open the door for him real quick, but
Okay.
he's something else.
I like the setup back there. That's pretty cool.
Go on, buddy, go.
I'm actually trying to get one of those. My
Well,
plants. Actually,
which are you talking about? This back here?
yeah, is that a 40 gallon?
No, this is 125.
Oh
You
wow.
can only see half of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Penny. This is my female Savannah monitor's tank,
Okay.
and yeah, hi Penny, hi honey. She's
Wow.
sitting right where my index finger is. She's right there. She has this little nook carved out, and she likes to spy on me when I do podcasts. Yeah,
Ah.
Penny. Penny is the Savannah monitor that I always tell people I can't touch. Um, I can. I don't like being bitten, and I don't like being pooped on, and I don't like
Ah.
stressing her out either. I really
Right.
don't.
Mm.
Um, I respect her space. She just had a rough start in life, so she doesn't
Oh,
like humans. She was one of my rescues, but
yeah.
she's a beautiful girl though. She's got like pink hues that go along the side of her face after a fresh shed, and she's got those little Egyptian kind of like eyeliners going right there.
Cool. Yeah.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful. I love her.
Yeah. I always wanted, I'm trying my best so hard to get more of like my cultural in my room, animal based wise. So I do have an Egyptian black tarantula from Egypt.
That's
That's
cool.
the only animal from Egypt that I have.
My buddy, oh, you talked to Chris too. Yeah, Chris has an Egyptian cobra.
What?
Yeah, yeah, you know Chris. You interviewed him. Yeah, Chris from Reptiles and Oddities.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
got an Egyptian cobra.
You
Tiny little
did?
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
remember when you said that. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
he does.
awesome.
He over
Yes,
Christmas he
I
photoshopped a
remember.
little Santa Claus hat onto it.
Mm,
It's he, he's
yeah,
got all
that was
kinds
an
of
awesome
like,
interview.
yeah, good dude. Good dude. He can talk to a brick wall too. Like that man can talk for days about anything. Love him to death. Love him to
He's
death.
very
Shout out to
knowledgeable.
you, Chris.
Yeah, yeah. He's very knowledgeable though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
so back to the wet specimens thing. So have the tarantulas been the only thing you've done thus far? Or have you done some other interesting things?
I've done rats, birds. Um, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
So are there are there any other methods you'd like to try in the future? You know the one that I want to try? You ever seen that wet specimen technique where they it's a certain chemical they use, but it makes the body translucent and it changes the color of the bones
Oh,
so you
pink.
can see. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are cool. I'd love to try that someday.
Mhm. Yeah,
Geez.
I think you have to study some type of like when you become like a mortician, you have to study like those chemicals or biochemist or something. I don't know.
I don't that stuff's way above my pay grade, but it's worth a YouTube rabbit hole or two. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll give it.
yeah.
So,
It'll be interesting.
it would be interesting. See, I went into this episode kind of like not really wanting to have a dedicated topic. I kind of figured we'd just talk about some of the random stuff that like you're into, and if we dive into any like weird rabbit holes that we both share in common, I was like, screw it, because you and I have enough rapport where
Yeah,
I feel like I've known you a hot minute, yet we haven't actually met in person. Isn't that wild?
crazy. It's so not vindictive. It's just cruel that we, as so much of us in the hobby, get to know each other intimately, and yet we live so far away. But I think it's a good thing because if we were all to be together in one room, we will be either locked up in some crazy asylum from being crazy or in jail because we're a good bunch.
Oh God, no, I don't think
Yeah.
there'd be any establishment and out there able to contain like reptile keepers. If you were to throw all of us collectively into one,
Yeah.
this no, you wouldn't be able to keep us caged. No, we'd be all
Mm,
pissed off. Like, no, I want to go home to my collection. This
yeah.
is bullshit.
Yeah. I don't think we will survive the night.
No, no.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. But I
Mm.
love that how in such little time, I say under a year, we've all become so close and it's just amazing and it's very heartwarming.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
and especially like not only do we come together, like a lot of us in that group. Okay, well, I think we should put some context here because we're kind of just talking about the group, and a lot of our listeners might not know who the group is. So let's elaborate on that real quick. So our mutual friend Kyle, that's how Kat and I know each other.
Yeah.
Um, our
So
mutual friend Kyle, good old Kyle, he put together this group chat
yeah.
called Markham's Reptile Chat,
Hmm.
and he's got there's people from all over in there,
Yeah.
and that's how Kat and I ended up getting connected.
Yeah.
And it's been a ride, dude. Like I prior to this whole podcast, it sounds funny now because I have a podcast. I'm an admin in a reptile group with people from all over the world. And
Mhm.
before all of this, I was basically like, I got my family, I got my reptiles, and everybody else can go fuck themselves. Like I don't need besides carrot, like
Mhm.
I'm good where I'm at. I don't
Mhm.
need anybody else. And now that I've gotten out of that with the help of this podcast and just wanting to do better, um I've met some really amazing people, talked to some really amazing people, and I'm starting to realize like I'm coming into a new chapter in my life as well
Mhm.
because I'm I guess I'm not as closed off as I once was, and that's presenting new opportunities for me. New
Yeah.
opportunities that are just blowing my mind left and right, like it's
It
kind of
feels
nuts.
liberating.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. And in a weird way, in a way I never expected, because
Absolutely.
I really was content just to sit with me and my animals, and everybody else is fine, but I'm
Yeah,
glad I didn't. Glad I didn't.
absolutely. And we're all proud of you for that.
I've come a long way.
Oh yeah,
Good lord.
for
Good
sure.
lord.
Yeah, I did too. Up until last year, I I was in a very, very dark place. I think everyone's gone through that, but I think it was not actually, yeah, it's been a year, but the animals have always been in my life, but being more connected and having more time with my animals has done tremendous to my mental health and to my physical health and just all in all my health. So every animal has a certain personality that I can originate with and I could relate to. And it's not just about the tarantulas, it's not about other things. Like it's connected me to other people. It's helping me branch out more. Where even though, yes, here at home I am a loner, I'm okay, but I've been learning to branch out physically. So I feel a little content where I'm at, but I feel like I could do better. And this is helping me to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, see, we get each other. So you have the extrovert, and then you have the introvert. And then I read this article about the
And
person in the middle. I think they're called like otroverts or something like that, where we're not someone that needs people per se, like an extrovert, someone that like really needs other people around them. And we're not introverted to the point where like leave me the hell alone, like
yeah.
I'm gonna
Mm,
hide in my cave and I got my food, my dog, and everybody else can go to hell. Like
right.
those are the introverted people. Miranda is definitely an introvert. She, yeah,
Mm.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised she grabbed a hold of me and latched on to me, because
Oh,
she she makes me look like a social butterfly sometimes, which is funny.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Shout out to the wifey.
Yeah, no, she's the best, man. And this podcast wouldn't be happening without her, because, like, as I've stated so many times before, I am not tech savvy at all. So yeah, this
Wow.
this is happening because of her. This
Oh,
like I got
wow.
my little camera and my microphone set up. I even have this fancy circle light. I don't know why I need it, because who needs to see this mug any better? Um, it's really for the free Fulvius apparel advertising I got rocking up
Oh,
here. That's why
okay.
we got the light. We want everybody to see the hemi-peen hat.
Right. Yeah.
But not this mug.
No, that's where we get to see the realness of you.
Yeah, it's scary looking, dude. I'm sorry. I apologize to the YouTube listeners, because this face is for audio only, but the powers that be said we're going to YouTube, so here
But you do have
we
a
go.
nice voice for, what your show is about. So like, how people say you're good for a radio show.
You got a voice for radio, as they say. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a voice for radio. It works. It works both ways.
There we go. I just don't have the face for TV, but I'll take the radio voice. It works.
Yeah,
Works.
that's funny.
So I think the first time you and I talked about you coming onto the podcast, we talked about do you still do like the knife throwing stuff?
Occasionally, like if I'm opening up
Occasionally.
boxes or something, yeah. It's wired into my brain. It's like physical memory.
See, Carrot and I, when we were younger, we had this set of knives that were like cut out with a plasma torch, and
Okay.
we had a whole bunch of them, and we had this one that was like 3 pounds, and basically just imagine like a spear tip, right? And that
Yeah.
was it was just a big like triangle looking spear tip
Yeah.
connected to this metal handle. Thing was like
Okay.
3 pounds of solid steel, cut with
Oh,
a laser torch, and we had it sharpened on the edge, and we would throw that at targets. We
yeah.
ended up figuring out that if we hit a chunk of wood just in the right spot, we'd be
Mhm.
able to split it, So instead of using an axe to split wood, we were
Yeah.
using this like throwing spearhead, I guess, to split wood, and it made that chore a lot more fun.
Wow.
It was a good
Cool.
time.
So,
Absolutely demolished the brick wall, and I ended up getting an ass chewing for that. But yeah, it was a great time.
oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, heavy metal objects and brick walls don't mix because over time the brick ends up losing, believe it or not.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did get an ass chewing for that. But hey, you live and you learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anything that's sharp or big enough for me to hold and throw, it's gonna be in my hands.
What one of the other things my friends and I ended up getting a hold of one time. You know the not the bike spokes. The why can I not think of this? The thing that drags the chain on your bike. Um
Oh,
a bike gear. There we go. Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
gear on your bike that
Yeah, yeah.
drives the chain. We would
Hmm.
take those off and use those as throwing stars.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we
I
would use them. It stick to trees. Like you throw them hard enough, it'd stick to damn near anything. We got in a lot
yeah.
of trouble with those.
All my knife stuff are actually in my drawer. I have butterfly knives. I have kunais, uh, the stars in a
Mhm.
packet.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, anything that's sharp, I'm gonna throw it.
there you go. I have a bunch of like daggers, and I have a Scottish dirk that I use for my Renaissance Festival outfit.
Uh huh.
I use I collect all kinds of cool knives. Here, actually, one of them's right here in the closet. I'll show you this. I'm proud of this thing.
Okay, where's my source over there? I'll get my show and tell.
That's what we're here for.
Got my butterfly knife. I love it so much.
I used to mess with those things all the time. I would scare the crap out of my mom. Like, you're gonna cut yourself, and no matter how many times I explained to her, look, if you hold it on this side, you can flip it around all you'd like. You're not gonna cut yourself.
Right?
She'd be like,
Yeah.
check out this bad boy right here. That's not a knife.
Ooh,
This is a knife. But crocodile
that's
Dundee.
a big, that's a huge
This
fish.
is a knife. Yeah, this is a Scottish dirk. This is this is what
Wow.
the Scots were using back in the day, and this is still a this is still a traditional weapon or knife in that part of the world to this day. You know,
Wow.
it it's speculated by some historians that like some of the first dirks were basically just the tip of a sword, right? Like the first
Yeah.
foot of a sword that got
Yeah.
broken off. And seeing as though back in the medieval times of Scotland,
Yeah.
steel was hard to come by, iron was hard to come by. A lot of them had to use bog iron techniques, where you basically you go to this bog and you kind of find this rusty looking clay,
Yeah.
and you start harvesting that because there's iron and that's why it looks rusty. And they
Mhm.
basically just take all that, bake all the water out of it, and then take that baked clay and shove it into a furnace that they build out of more clay. And that's how they smelt the iron out. It's a really lengthy process. I probably butchered the explanation, but it takes a long time. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
skill, and you have to know exactly what you're doing. And if you mess it up at any point, you have to start all over. And that's
Wow.
how they people in that part of the world, like the Vikings, were getting their steel and their iron.
Wow.
So
That
in a
has so
battle,
much
you
character.
yeah, like in a battle, you break your sword. You don't want to leave that hunk of steel sitting there. You're gonna pick it up. You're gonna repurpose it, and they believe
Yeah.
that's where the dirk originated from, was just broken sword tips that they just
Mm.
picked up and repurposed. It still has use.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
That is so cool.
Traditionally, like yeah, traditionally stuff like this would be worn, in a boot. Shorter versions would be worn at the boot. You can like a boot dagger or at
Yeah.
the hip. They're really cool. There's all kinds of different designs. Some of them even pertain to like specific clans within the Scottish Highlands. Each clan has its own different design, all that cool
Yeah.
stuff. I'm put back before I cut myself because
Wow.
I'm derpy like that.
That is so cool. That just reminded me when you said boots, when they would put it in their boots in school. Ever since I was a kid, I would always wear boots, and I would put stuff in my boots, whether it was pens, forks, butter knives. um, anything, you name it. Chopstick, it was in there. It was in my boots.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
I'm trying to think what was the weirdest thing I ever had in my boot. I think it was dandelions.
Doesn't
Dandelion.
surprise me either. I had
I just
I had these weird, I think they were like Vol. I can't remember the brand name of them. I got them down when I was in Mexico one time on vacation,
uh-huh.
and they were basically like this knockoff brand of like these designer shoes, and they had this like pocket right on the heel. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever because I would hide all kinds of stuff in there. I don't know. I
It
thought they
sounds
were
cool.
cool when I was a kid. Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
thought they were super cool. So what other stuff are you into besides you got your little knife thing going on? You got the Well, actually, let's talk about the arachnids for a second because I'm becoming more and more fascinated with them the older I get, especially
Mhm.
with centipedes. I don't know what it is about me getting bit by something, being terrified of it for a period of time, and then I want to have one. Like that's what happened with spiders. I got bit in the belly button by a spider, put me on my ass for a couple days, and
I
then
have
for years
this.
I was afraid of them. What do we got
I have
there?
this. It's a molt from my amphipigid, the tailless whip scorpion.
Oh, dude, those things are cool. Those
Right?
things are nuts. Oh, let's talk about those for a second because I feel like most people don't know those things exist. So,
Yeah.
we have them here in the Sonoran Desert. They're a native species here,
Yeah.
and they're they're stunning animals, and they are wicked fast. I swear they teleport.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there's really big specimens that live in caves, and there's some that are semi-communal, and
Mm-hmm.
you can keep them in groups too. But
Yep.
from what I understand, their hunting strategy, and for everybody that's listening on audio platforms, if you want to do a little quick little Google, these are called tailless whip scorpions. All right,
Yep.
tailless whip scorpions. Lots of different
Or
species, lots of different localities all over the world.
yeah.
What these things do is they kind of sit, when it's in a spot, and
Yeah.
one of their legs on either side of their body is modified to where it's very long. There's like
Mm-hmm.
136 digits. There's probably more than that. I'm probably butchering that number, but there's tons of joints, not digits, joints. Tons of joints within this modified leg to make it kind of function like a whip, and it uses these modified
Mm-hmm.
legs to kind of like scan
Scan.
around itself. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it has like a 360-degree field of sensory touch,
Sensory. Yep.
and they use that to tap around, and then once they feel something, they just teleport to it, grab it, and eat it. And
Mm-hmm.
they have they're not like scorpion pincers though, are they? They're
No.
different. They're very different.
I I call them little vampires, even though they don't have any venom whatsoever.
No.
They are completely harmless to humans, all species of amphipods. So, interesting enough, Linda Rayer on the Tarantula Collective, he did a podcast with her. She is the expert on these animals. So, the
That's
ones
where I
in
learned
Puerto
the most about them.
yes.
I,
So
I
the one
remember that episode. Yep.
yeah, it's you got to watch it. So for anyone listening, so the ones in Puerto Rico are actually endangered. There's, I would say, a few hundred left because I'm sorry to say, but most of people on the island are very uneducated, and they because it looks scary, they're gonna kill it, not
Well,
knowing.
yeah, these
Yeah,
things do look insane. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie. They like you said before, they are completely harmless, but they look like they could put a hurt on you just by looking at the thing. If you didn't know what you were looking at, like, oh, if
hmm
that thing got a hold of me, it looks like it hurt. It
yeah,
it looks
but no.
wild. That's why I told you guys to Google it. Google it
hmm
if you haven't already, because these things look nuts.
Right. But yeah, mine is called Dracula. Where is he? Oh, he's all the way back there. So he was actually a gift from Tom Patterson, that actually gave to my friend, shout out to Junior at Epic Reptiles, who in turn gave it to me. So it was like a double gift. It was actually for my birthday because I think 2 years ago, it was I got sick, and it was the expo, and the expo landed on my birthday. And I was gonna go, but I got sick, and I'm like, oh, I won't be able to go. And that was the day that I was supposed to get some stuff from Tom. And so my friend Junior, he had a table right next to Tom. So he's like, all right, just tell me what you need. I'll get it for you, blah, blah, blah. So Junior went over to Tom. He's like, Kat's not going to be able to make it. She's sick, blah, blah, blah. What do you have for her? So he's like, oh, just give her this stuff. So he ended up giving me a whole bunch of stuff, and including the Taylor Swift Scorpion.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. It was
And
nice.
so, have you ever kept a vinegaroon before?
No, and I want to.
What? See, I want to as well because I've heard some wild things about vinegaroons. Um, I don't, I don't know enough about them to where if I was to see one available, I'd scoop it up because then I'd have to like cram research the thing on the way home from whatever place I bought it from. But
Yeah.
I, they just look so wild. Like they're it looks like a camel spider and a scorpion got together and had like an unholy love child. You know what I'm saying?
Hybrid.
They they look so freaking weird. And then don't they do something with acid? Or like is there
Yeah.
like
It's a
like a
vinegar acid.
spray?
Mhm. Yeah.
Hence
It's
the
basically
name.
that's what it is. It's basically vinegar. Um it
Mm.
okay, so I this is what I've read and what I've seen. If it sprays on you, it causes no damage. Maybe it has like the same effects as if a millipede were to spray that stuff. It's like a musking in a way.
Mm.
But yeah, it's basically vinegar, like very concentrated vinegar, and nothing will happen. Nothing. Just like a little itch, and that's it. That's it. Nothing.
That is wild. That is
Mhm.
such a we like out of all the things I mean, there's weirder things out there. You ever heard of a bombardier
Mhm.
beetle?
No.
You've never heard of a bombardier beetle? Okay. So you know how the vinegaroon has its like, vinegar spray, like
Yeah.
concentrate. The bombardier beetle, it has these two reservoirs of chemicals that it keeps separated within its abdomen. When the beetle's threatened, let's say by like an ant or a spider that's trying to prey on the beetle, what it does is it shoots two jets to where they kind of converge. And once those two chemical jets converge, a chemical reaction happens where it basically creates heat, like a really hot acid spray, like a
Uh,
and it basically just sprays its predator with just this caustic, nasty, hot chemical solution.
that is
And
so
you
cool.
it's not like when you watch videos of it, it smokes because of the chemical reaction. It looks like a little firecracker going off almost, hence the name bombardier beetle. They're
Huh.
that is nuts, and the fact that nature has put something together like that kind of
Yeah.
almost makes dragons seem a little less far-fetched, you know?
You're right.
Like
Hmm.
the fact that you have a beetle that has evolved to keep these two different chemicals housed within its body and then shoot it out to where it mixes and it's potent enough to repel predators, that is insane. That is like
Hmm.
that is a wild evolutionary mechanism that nature has put into place. Because
Wild.
as far as I know, like the only other thing that uses chemicals to defend itself in nature is us. I, I well, I am very wrong about that. There's lots of things out in nature that use chemicals to defend itself, but in that way,
Hmm.
like it's spraying like a hot gas and liquid in the face of something. What else
Yeah.
does that? Well, we did that in
Yeah.
World War One. Human beings did that in World War One. It was called chemical warfare, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like that is insane.
I
That
wonder if
nature.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where they also got the idea from the movie Aliens, the xenomorph, how their blood is acid and then
Oh,
like they
oh
spray.
God. They're actually. there is lots out in nature with acidic, very acidic blood. Have you ever heard of a love bug?
Yes.
So in Louisiana we had them, and they were everywhere. I remember when I first got to Fort Polk, one of the first things I saw when I stepped outside of that van when I got to Fort Polk was the door to the reception barracks, the in-processing barracks for Fort Polk, where all the new soldiers go. And
Mm.
there was a sergeant and a specialist out there with brooms, and they were brooming off the door because the door was covered in love bugs.
Oh
It
wow.
was that bad. Yeah, and that was
Invasion.
one of the yeah, it was gnarly. That was one of my first introductions to those things. And people always told me like during this time of year you got to really pay attention to keeping the front of your car clean because you just drive through swarms of them.
Mm.
And if you let the blood sit on your paint for too long, their blood was so acidic it would ruin the paint on your car.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, nuts, nuts.
That is so
Like
cool.
the
Nature's
pH of
just
their blood was
amazing.
nature is insane. I like some of the stuff that I remember watching as a kid still blows my mind to this day. I remember when I was little watching some of the David Attenborough documentaries. Oh no, you know which one blows my mind still to this day, and especially now that I'm older and I understand the specific animal more, it blows my mind that much more. I remember when I was a kid watching this episode of Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, where he's on the island of Flores, I think, and there's this like 10-foot male Komodo with fishing line coming out of its
Oh.
mouth or on it. And
Hmm.
Steve looks at that, he sees that, and he's like, I got to do something about that. So of course, Steve, doing what Steve does, goes over there and he does get the fishing line off of it, but he pisses off the Komodo in the process. So it basically runs Steve up a tree, and you can just barely see the Komodo bite his boot, but it bit completely through the boot leather. And if that even just nicked him, even just scratched the skin just a little bit, ooh, bad day.
Oh
Bad
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Bad day. He was
Even
that close to getting killed by a Komodo.
yeah.
Knowing what I know about, because when I was little, I saw that and I'm like, mind blown. Whoa, mind blown.
Yeah.
But now that I understand those animals so much more as an adult,
Yeah.
if I would never have been the cameraman. I would not have signed up to be the cameraman for Steve, knowing what I know about those things and knowing how many people have just gotten mauled by the like, ooh,
Yeah. You
gnarly.
appreciate
But
it
in
more.
captivity, yeah, in
Mhm.
captivity, they're puppy dogs, like
Oh,
Bubba.
that's
Like there's
funny.
some zoos, there's some zoos that put them on harnesses and walk them around the zoo.
Uh-uh. That's insane.
Nuts, nut. Like you raised in captivity. They're just so chill. The Phoenix Zoo, the city where I'm at, the Phoenix Zoo has some. They have a baby, and
Oh,
then they have a
I have to
huge
see
male.
that.
It's cool. It's cool. They have an itty bitty baby. Catch couldn't have been can't be more than a few months old. Little baby, and then they got that big old male, and they are so impressive in person.
Wow. I
Like
was so
you've been
surprised about learning about the bearded dragons, how they're venomous too, but not enough for us to get hurt. But like, what?
Yeah, and it's not medically significant to humans.
Right.
There's suggestions out there that savanna monitors the same way. Like most varanids, if not all, have a
Mm-hmm.
a form of venom. It's just
Yeah.
not medically significant to human beings.
Right.
Um, or it's an anticoagulant, like something that doesn't make it
Right.
makes your blood not clot.
Mm-hmm.
That's for some people. I mean, like if you're a hemophiliac, that could be horrible. Like even the smallest nick could take you out of action. But let's say like someone with hemophilia got bit by a monitor, which blood is an
Mm-hmm.
anticoagulant, like no, which venom is an anticoagulant, that
Yeah.
could be a very bad thing. Well, a
Yeah.
bite
Like
from
that.
anything at that point could be a very bad thing.
Oh yeah. Insane.
Look at me rambling. This is just, I
No,
always
we're
have to tell
it's
myself.
fine. Yeah.
Pe-
We're
people People don't come onto the show to listen to me ramble. They come on to listen to other people talk about their cool hobby.
We're both people who have the coolest hobbies in the world, and I think we're the coolest people in the world talking about what makes us happy. So, anyone who doesn't care or who doesn't want to listen, that's fine. But the people who are like us, they will stay and listen, which we
Indeed,
appreciate.
indeed.
Indeed.
Okay, I want to ask though. I want to ask what what made a teeny tiny chick. Please don't take this the wrong way. What made a teeny tiny chick like yourself want to get into spiders that have the potential to get the size of dinner plates?
Okay.
It's a real
I
thing.
yes, even littler when I was littler. I was 5 years old. I always tell the story. I was 5 years old and I saw the movie and I'm completely fascinated and obsessed with 1979 Ridley Scott's Aliens.
Mhm.
So I saw the face hugger for the first time and I was like, so I was just, oh my God. I'm like, I want that. What is that? I want it right now. So I saw spiders. And I'm like, I wonder if that's it, but like as a baby. So I go outside. I'm looking for this face hugger, and I come back. I'm like to my dad. I'm like, Baba, where is it? Where? And they're like, what? I'm like, where's the face hugger? And they're like, well, how do you know about the face hugger? Whoever was babysitting me got in trouble for me letting me watch that movie. But yeah, I grew up thinking that the face hugger was like the giant version of a spider. So that's
Oh,
what basically got me into spiders.
so you being a little kid, rather than being scared and not and being terrified of going outside, you wanted to go find the thing. You see, most kids in that scenario would be terrified.
Nope, not me. I was
Terrified.
demented. I
K-
was a demented child. So that explains a
The
lot.
fact the fact that I'm about to share this
Okay.
should speak volumes. Okay, because I'm astounded right now. So when you ever see the movie The Fly?
Yes.
Okay,
Love that
so
movie.
you know how gnarly it is, right?
Yes.
My first exposure to that, I couldn't have been older than my son, like maybe about the same age or a little bit older than my son is now, like 4 or 5. I
Hmm.
go walking out into the living room and my dad's sitting on the couch and he's watching The Fly. And it's the scene where he's basically turning into a fly and she like
Yeah.
grabs his face and peels a part off and it just falls off and he's just
Yeah.
okay. I was so traumatized by that for months. For months, I walked around my house with a fly swatter because I thought the fly swatter would keep me safe from the fly. And anytime I saw a fly in the house, I
You
I would
panicked.
freak out.
You're
Like, that
out.
was him. That was him. Dude, so here you are, little kid,
Yeah. Mhm.
watch a face hugger pop onto somebody's face and put
Oh
an
yeah.
alien in their belly.
Hmm.
Eh, eh. You're like, "I want one of those."
Oh yeah. You know what I did to my brother?
What? What'd you do? What'd
I
you do?
took. I don't know what spider it was. It was probably some wolf spider. I don't know. It's probably a wolf spider, but it I don't know what happened, but I took a wolf spider and it had
Okay.
a sack. It had an egg sack. I put
Okay.
it I put it in my brother's room and I waited for it to hatch. And
Friend.
how I would know that it hatched is my brother screaming. So I waited patiently, waiting for that egg sac to hatch. Of course, it never did because, as I later found out, when wolf spiders have their babies, the babies climb onto the back, and
Mhm.
they don't come off for after 14 weeks. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and nothing. And like after a month, I was like, "Did you see anything weird? Any aliens?" He was like, "No, why?" I searched his room, like, where is the alien? But yeah, I would do that constantly. I would put spiders in his room just to see if like it would crawl into him and then it will come out of him. Yeah, I was very
Oh my
demented.
god. Oh no. Oh my god. See, one of my friends was telling me the other day that I was mean because I had at one point had my kids convinced that something called a fart spider existed, and
A
that
what?
a fart spider. Yes. I had my kids
Okay.
convinced that it was like the boogeyman in my house for a while, fart spiders.
Okay.
So I had my kids convinced that these fart spiders were attracted to farts, so people that farted a lot in their sleep, and I would always tell my kids that they're both like little fart knockers in their sleep. I tell them that all the time. So I told them, yeah, you guys fart in your sleep all the time. It's loud and smelly and it's gross. That's why you guys sleep all the way on the other side of
That's
our
hilarious.
so I can't smell you. And I told them, you know what's attracted to that smell? And they're like, what, Dad? And my oldest, Clover, she goes, and she can smell bullshit in the air. She goes, what are you talking about, Dad? I don't believe you. So it took me a while to convince her that fart spiders were real, but I ended up telling her like, yeah, fart spiders are real. They're attracted to the smell of your farts, and they'll come in and they'll bite you at night and they'll suck some of your blood. But one of the side effects of a fart spider bite is you'll be farting all day long at school. So
That's
whenever they
hilarious.
would, whenever they were being bad, especially Clover was being bad, I'd tell her, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna go to my friend's house and he breeds fart spiders. I'm gonna get a jar full of fart spiders. I'm gonna pour them in your bed if you keep being
Oh,
bad.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
But here
Love
you
it.
are taking wolf spiders, which terrify me, by the way. They're one of the
Really?
few arachnid. Yes, I don't know what it is about wolf spiders, but they, I guess they don't really I have a healthy fear of them. Let's put it
Mm,
that way. I have a
okay.
healthy, fearful respect of them. They are just gnarly, gnarly animals to me. They are wicked fast.
Yeah.
They have they are very large. At least the ones here in Arizona and the ones I experienced in Louisiana.
Mm.
They're large, and you piss them off, they come after you. Like if you piss one off, you back it into a corner, they come after you. I learned that the hard way.
That's the females.
Not on purpose. Yeah, not on pur and she did have babies on her back. So she was extra testy, and
Yeah.
I d I didn't even know she was there until she came at me. But yeah, they wolf spiders or something else. I remember being in Louisiana and I ended up seeing a half-eaten wolf spider in the claws of a one of those Louisiana bark scorpions they got there. I have a picture of it. I think
Oh,
it's like, yeah,
wow.
that was a wild experience. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, so what I really need to be worried about is those things because they're out
Uh,
here eating wolf spiders. All right, all right, yeah. That was that was a humbling experience. I'll have to send you that picture because
yeah.
it's it's intense.
The
It
funny
was
or the ironic thing though, it wasn't until 5 years ago that I started breeding my local wolf spiders. And the most
you breed
craziest,
wolf spiders?
yeah.
Why didn't I know this?
I don't
What?
know. I don't, yeah, I don't say it. But yeah, I do.
Okay, share. I'm listening,
Okay.
and I am
So,
intrigued.
yeah, so I started 5 years ago. I found a female, and she was. I go to the local schools, and they usually, I don't know how they do it, but they dump a whole bunch of dirt in the parking lot. So I would go and I would pick up extra dirt, but I don't do that anymore. I don't pick up dirt anymore. So I would use that for substrate. And as I'm digging and I'm putting dirt into a bucket, I find a wolf spider with an egg sac. So I'm like, oh, I gotta take you home. And so I took her home and I set everything up and then she ate the sack. I'm like, dang it.
Oh,
So a few months later, or say like 2 months later, she made another sack. And I'm like, how is this possible? How, without a male, how did you do that? And that's when I found out that wolf spiders can continue to make egg sac without a mate because they have already mated once before. So they can hold on to a few of the, I should say, You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Spermatophores? I think they're called spermatophores. I didn't know that wolf
Oh no, I was just
spiders
saying because I
had.
don't know if you could say that on online or something. The sperm.
Oh, dude, this we've had people with like cursing like sailors on here, me myself included. Don't worry about it. Speak,
Yeah,
speak
okay. All right. So
free
yeah,
place to speak.
nice. So yeah, so she made me two egg sacs within the time that I had her. And then so she ate both of them. And then the last one I helped her raise the babies. But I learned the hard way that, I'm thinking that, they're with the mom is with the babies, but if they're in a space for too long, the mom will eat the babies. So I
Hmm.
found out the hard way. So the next year, because they hibernate and stuff like that. So the next year I would go back to the same place and I would try to find some wolf spiders and I would bring them home. I wouldn't make them here. I would wait for them to do their business here at home and then help the process. So the last one last year, or no, I didn't do it last year. I did the year before. So the year before, I found a strange wolf spider. I didn't know what species it was. So I'm like, this is weird. A new one that I've never seen before. So I brought her home. I named her Friday because it was a Friday that I got her. And she had exactly 129 babies. So after 14 days, I separated the babies into the little cups and everything. And then I brought them back to the place where I found them. And that's usually what I did. I just recycled the whole process.
Wow, that's
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I I really do admire that. As much as wolf spiders kind of freak me out, I do admire that because most people would get freaked out. Most people would think, "Ew, gross spiders." No, not you. You saw that and you're like, "I'm intrigued. I want to
Hmm.
know more. I want to do
Yeah.
more." That's cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Some of Fridays
Is
live here.
That's cool. So is
Hmm.
that kind of what sparked your interest in all the arachnids? Is that whole project when you were younger? Is that what got you into eventually just getting
Yeah.
like Goliath bird eaters, basically? I still want some. I hope I'm still on the list for a sling
Oh, of
because
course. Of
I
course.
miss my bird
Yeah.
eaters.
Helena actually started tapping. She's pretty early on it because they're not supposed to start until June.
Mm,
But he's not ready because he hasn't made a sperm web. So I have to wait until he makes a sperm web in order for them to
do
get
their
it
thing.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by June 1st, they should be ready because that's when they start the whole breeding process. And so I have to wait till June.
So what species of bird eaters do you keep? And so for those of you that don't know what I refer to when I say bird eaters, so this is a species of tarantula that rumor has it a naturalist was out there and witnessed a very large tarantula eating a hummingbird.
Yep.
Thus, the moniker bird eating spider or bird eating tarantula kind of stuck. And there's
Yeah.
multiple different species of bird eaters. There's Theraphosa blondie. The Theraphosa genus covers
Hypothesis.
like the huge ones.
Yeah.
There's Theraphosa blondie. There's Theraphosa burgundy. Um,
There's
I think
only there's only three. So the hypothesis, Sturmy, and Blondie.
ah,
Yeah.
see, I
I
must have
have
got that
Sturmy.
mixed up. I had a burgundy, and she was supposed to get pretty big. Like I think she
Hmm.
was the third biggest spider out there. I think I'm probably wrong about that, but
So
she was not even not even not even halfway, and she was already
mhm,
the biggest spider I'd already seen.
yeah.
And I went to feed her one time, using tongs, had a
Yeah.
roach on the end of the tongs. She knocked the tongs out of my hand.
Yep. That's yeah. Helena is 10 inches right now. And Homer, the boy, he is 11. So, uh, Theraphosa, the whole genus in general, they are the biggest tarantula in the world,
Hmm.
weight size. So, body weight.
Yeah,
The
mass,
longest, right, the fattest. But the
mass.
biggest, like longest tarantula are the old world Pulsolatheria and Stromatopelma.
I've also heard, they're true spiders, the huntsman. I heard there's a huntsman that was found in a cave in Laos that's like, as far as
Yeah,
leg span,
yeah,
bigger than the Theraphosa, as far as
yeah.
leg span goes, which is
Hmm.
nuts.
Yeah, they're beautiful and they're purple. They have purple dots or like signature like purple design on their legs. I think it's Maxima herderopoda.
Nuts. Those are wild spiders. Huntsmen are something else.
Yeah.
Isn't there a species of huntsman down in Brazil that if it bites you, it gives you a boner for like 4 hours?
Yes, yes, the Brazilian wandering spider. Yes.
Yep, that's the one. That's
Yeah,
the Viagra spider.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, damn, dude, that
Mm,
is whoa. Why does it?
insane.
No, we're not gonna get into that's a different podcast. We're not gonna get into that. But excuse me.
Yeah.
Allergies, dude. Good lord.
Good.
Like everything, yeah, no, I'm good. Everything out in the desert right now is blooming because we had a ridiculous amount of rain all winter. So,
Oh
like,
wow.
if you were to look out past my like back patio here, it looked like there's just yellow snow all over the ground because all of the Palo Verde trees just get these puffy
The
yellow
pollen.
flowers and they
Yeah.
fall everywhere. So the pollen and flowers are everywhere. It just looks like yellow snow. And
Wow.
everyone in the city is just dying. We're all dying. It's bad.
Mm.
It's bad. I was born and raised in this town, and I'm still not used to all the pollen that gets kicked up this time of year.
Wow.
I'll send you a picture later, and
Yellow
just from
snow.
my back patio, yeah, you'll be able to see all the yellow snow.
That's so cool.
So bad.
Awesome.
It's pretty nuts too, because there's a couple of roads where I live where you just drive straight through the desert, and it's just desert on either side of you. And the Palo
Yeah.
Verde trees are on either side of you as you're driving, so it's just yellow trees, beautiful
Uh,
yellow trees as you're driving down the road.
uh,
And every 5 seconds, you'll feel something hit your windshield. Just it's because bees are just swarming the desert right now,
uh,
getting all these flowers.
yeah.
Bees are everywhere.
That's the
It's
only thing I'm afraid of. That's the only thing.
bees
Mhm. Yes. Not the animal specifically, but the
being
honeycomb.
swarm. What? You're afraid of the honeycomb of a what?
I okay, I have like this thing where I can't look at that shape.
I I guess I can understand that because there's some people whose faces I just get grossed out by looking at, you know?
Okay.
So I can understand that, I suppose.
And today, oh my gosh, today my I found a bee at the window and I'm like, why is there a bee in the window? But it's like on the other side, like trapped within the window. So my stepdad's like, oh shoot, there's a hive, a beehive. There's two. I'm like, oh my god, I can't even look. I freaking looked, man. I was freaking out. Not freaking out, but
You
like,
just
ugh, I can't. I can't.
get grossed out.
Yeah.
We have this thing here in Arizona, and these things genuinely do terrify me because their their sting is rated as one of the most painful stings on the planet. I think they're number three behind the bullet ants
Hmm.
and some something else. Um, Basically, the sting of a tarantula hawk is
Ooh,
enough to like no, not permanently. It's enough to temporarily like
paralyzed.
paralyze that limb.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of them up where I live. There's one mountain that I like to go hike every now and then.
Hmm.
And they're all over that mountain. All over. There's lots of Arizona blondes all over that mountain too. Like
Yeah.
hence why there's lots of tarantula hawks.
Yeah.
And you see them. They're much bigger than you think. They're they're big. They're
Oof.
big insects. And they're jet black with red wings. You ever played Fallout? Are you a gamer?
No.
No, no. Okay, so there might be some people out there that have played Fallout New Vegas. There are these things called cazadors. So they're these mutated, genetically modified tarantula hawks that are about the size of a large dog. Let's say
Oh my
that.
god.
So yeah, imagine a tarantula hawk the size of a large dog coming at you. That's
Oh my gosh.
these things
That's
are
the
so
apocalypse.
terrifying in nature. Yeah, these things are so terrifying in nature that they decided to take it and say, "Hey, let's make it even crazier and throw it in a video game."
Ugh,
But
that's crazy.
yeah, those things scare me. If I was to have one land on me, I'd I'd freak out. Like I know you're not supposed to because that's what will probably, if anything, it provoke a sting in defense. Like if you were to freak
Uh-huh.
out if one landed on
Yeah.
you, it'd probably sting you because you in
Yeah.
turn by freaking out freak it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most likely, if you were to sit still and not really do anything, it'd probably just go on its merry way. But
Mm-hmm.
the last thing I would want is to be out on a hike, right? Like let's say I'm out on a 5, 6 mile hike,
Oh yeah.
and God forbid one of those things were to sting me in the leg, right? I have limited amount of water. I am in the middle of the desert and I'm miles away from my car, and my leg is temporarily paralyzed because I'm in that much pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a death
You're
sentence.
doomed. Yeah, you're
It's like
doomed.
yeah, that's a death sentence. Like let's say you go hiking in the early morning to beat the heat. You want to go out for just a quick, you know, 2 hour
Yeah.
hike, couple miles out, couple miles back. No big deal. You have your
Right.
water, which is just about a water bottle for somebody that's gonna do a shorter hike like that. Well, they get bit by that tarantula hawk. That leg's temporarily paralyzed because you were in ridiculous amounts of pain, and the sun's coming up, and you go from 80
Yeah.
degrees in the summer, early in the morning, very quickly to 120 in some cases here in this desert. That is a death sentence. That is
Oh yeah.
terrifying. And that's why I tell people all the time, listen, I don't care if you're going for a short hike. I don't care where it is that you're going for that short hike. There are things out there that can take you out quickly.
Yep.
The sun is one of them. It's not
Oh
just the
yeah.
wildlife you got to worry about. Or let's say like you slip and fall and mess up your ankle, which I have done. Don't go alone. Don't go
Yeah.
alone because just one mistake out in this desert will kill you. That
Yeah.
happens all the time. People die in this desert every year.
Wow.
Like every year, people die in this desert. People are constantly getting like medevaced, like
Hmm.
airlifted off
Yeah.
of these desert mountain trails out around where I live because
Hmm.
they're just not careful. They're not careful, and the ones that usually die are the ones that go out alone,
Yeah.
which is sad.
Yep.
It's sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta be on your toes out here, and you gotta bring someone with you that you trust.
Hmm.
Never go out into the desert alone. You have there's people. Ryan, you remember Ryan? Ryan's been on the show. Some of our listeners will remember Ryan, but Ryan from our group chat, he's an
Yep.
Arizona native, and there was this one time he's like, "Oh man, I don't mind going out in the desert by myself." And I bitched him out. I was like, "No, no, do not go out to the desert by yourself." And I gave
Hmm.
him the riot act about why not to go out in the desert by
Yeah.
yourself. He goes, "All right, I see your point. I
Hmm.
I understand."
Yeah.
So,
You can be nature.
and oh yeah, I love Ryan though. He's such a good dude. He's such a nice guy. He's definitely someone you should have on your pod one of these days, Kat, because the
I forgot.
knowledge that kid has.
Who is that? The RB. What's his handle
No,
again?
reared fangs.
Ah. Okay.
Yep, Ryan. He specializes in the Boega.
Okay.
He also did beta fish for a while. Like he Carrot and I talked
Oh.
about beta fish when we
Yeah.
did his episode for like the first hour.
Okay.
The knowledge that kid has on beta fish will blow your
Mhm.
mind. I didn't
Well.
even know there was like more than 4 or 5 species of beta fish. There's some beta fish that are big enough you can feed them dubia roaches, dude.
Nuh-uh.
hmm
That's crazy. I didn't
Some
know
of them,
that.
some of them get huge. Some of them get big. Like
Wow.
there's
I
there's
didn't.
wild. He got into the wild type species, and it's really impressive the knowledge he
Hmm.
has. And in my opinion, after talking to him, I did my little research on the Googles.
Uh-huh.
The wild type my research on the Googles. You like that? After I did my research on the Googles,
Yeah.
wild type betas are more impressive than these farm raised colorful ones we see at Petco and PetSmart all the time. Wild type
That.
betas are where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
They are stunning. Like nature, we can make some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. Especially in the even the reptile
Hmm.
community. We see these chondros that people breed all the time. These carpet python, beautiful snakes, right? Beautiful
Yeah.
ball python morphs.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, when it comes to these betas, what we
Leave it
make in
natural.
the hobby, yeah, what we make in the hobby does not beat some of these wild type betas. There's
Yeah.
this green locality. I think they're called green Martians.
Uh-huh.
Nature made that, and those
Wow.
things are like an emerald, a beautiful emerald green with some like Chinese green jade in there, like just hints of
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Like
Wow.
it made me want to set up a tank, and I haven't done this in years, but it made me want to set up a naturalistic like blackwater tank just for that
Ooh.
fish. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would have paid $50 for that beta. How many people out there do you know that would pay $50 for a beta they could go buy for $5 down the pay? You know what I
My
mean?
father.
Yeah, your old man and I we might be in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up with fishes. We had a 170-gallon tank, or 175. We had tanks everywhere. We lived
I got a
across
bunch.
a river because my father, he was a fish fanatic. So everything was fish. Not everything was either saltwater or freshwater, but his favorite was freshwater.
Mm.
And we always had eels, different types of fish, different, just
Oh, I
different
love it.
everything. And my favorite was the eels, and his was too. And I should have
Like the
paid more
freshwater
attention.
spiny eels, like
Yeah,
peacock eels, and
yeah,
I
the one,
love
yeah, the
those.
biggest, yep, yeah.
I love that. And what about dojo loaches? Did you guys do dojo loaches too?
I don't know, but we probably had it.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're very common, very common.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I had a dojo loach. Some people call them weather loaches. I massive. The thing was huge, huge, and
Hmm.
it ended up getting cancer. It was an albino, and
Wow.
yeah, lo and behold, come
Hmm.
like I certainly did not know this, but albino scaleless fish, because
Hmm.
loaches are considered a scaleless fish. They are
Hmm.
prone to skin cancer, and they get it from the sun, especially albinos.
Makes sense.
So uh, I always had that tank set up next to a window, and I don't. I
Uh,
mean, he had those like cancer lumps on him before I got him because I got him when he was already massive. But
mhm.
some people were like, you might have hastened his death by doing that. And they are a cold
Wow.
water species of fish too.
Yeah.
Um, so warming him up with the sun next to the window probably didn't help things. And I didn't know that at the time. Now I do. Now I know. But
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
you live and you learn. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, I learned at that fish's expense. But
Hmm.
it was
Yeah.
a bummer.
Now you told the story. Now everybody knows.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. If you're gonna keep, well, actually, if you keep a koi pond and you keep like relatively cool water in that koi pond, because koi fish are carp, and carp like cool water.
Mm.
They're not a warm like goldfish. They're cool water species. They like colder
Mhm.
water. You can keep dojo loach as like a perfect companion fish in a koi pond. And if you do that,
Wow.
your dojo loach, they'll probably get pretty big if you do it. Um,
Hmm.
you, yeah, don't you work at Petco or at a
Yeah,
pet
but
store?
I don't pay attention to the fit. I'm in the reptiles and the mammal section.
That's fair. Oh, well, one of these days, cruise by the fish, and I bet you money you guys will have baby dojo loaches in stock.
Um,
You'll see them, and usually
Actually,
they're golden dojo loaches. Usually is what they're labeled as, is golden dojo loach, and they come in teeny
okay,
tiny, but they have the potential to get massive. And
okay.
they are the perfect fish to pair with colder water species like goldfish and
Hmm.
carp. So if you want to do a koi pond someday and you have
Hmm.
the right climate to do that, throw some dojo loaches in there. They're great bottom feeders. Like they're nice little cleaners.
Yeah.
They're
Nice.
beautiful. They look like water dragons if you view them from above. Their
Yeah.
pectoral fins come out and they look like wings. and the
Uh-huh.
way they move, they just look like Chinese water dragons moving through the water. They're beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. I actually want to do a little water feature for my boa's tank. Um, she's in here, but I love it because it holds great humidity.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw this one. Yeah, I remember you made a post about it, and it was all
yeah,
misty and fogged up on the side. You're like, yeah, this is holding the
yeah.
humidity I need.
So I want to do like half like water and then half, the land. But I also want to do that for one of my tarantulas. Like have
That
fish in
would be
it.
cool. That would be
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
I was shoot, I don't know whose page it was on. I need to go and look. But did you know that there's a semi-aquatic species of centipede?
Ooh.
Dude, they're blue with like these yellow legs. So this guy,
Really?
yeah, they're nuts looking. He had this terrarium set up half and half, right? So half land
Mhm.
over here, he's got deep substrate for them to do their thing in, plenty of
Yeah.
hiding spots. But on the other side, he had this glass divider where they could go down into this really shallow water, and he
Yeah.
had mollies, molly fish, and
The black ones, the little
go,
black molly. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he um he had a video of the centipedes going down into the water, moving through the water, and hunting the fish.
Oh,
That
that's
they're a
awesome.
pescivorous species of centipede. That blew my
Wow.
mind. And I
Yeah.
love making enclosures like that because you were saying you want to set your boa up in something kind of half and half. Well,
Yeah.
I have a poldarium out in the living room, and that's how I
Mm.
keep my boa.
Yeah.
Her name's Gertrude. I keep Gertie in a poldarium, and she loves it. She
Yeah.
loves it. I kept some tadpoles in there for a while because I had like a
Hmm.
batch of 30 tadpoles I planned on growing out to feed
Hmm.
some of my snakes and feed some of my monitors. And I will admit I do like frog legs myself, so I wanted a few of them myself. But
Yeah.
I needed to spread these things out because I wasn't about to throw 30 tadpoles in my 40-gallon aquarium. So I threw some in the poldarium. I threw some in another like little half and half
Hmm.
aquarium I have, and then I threw
Yep.
the rest in my fish tank. Well,
Mm.
Gertrude Gertrude ate all of them that I put in the poldarium. Plucked
Wow.
them right out of the water. Yeah,
Wow. That's so
yeah,
cool.
I can't keep fish any bigger than those gold dust mollies in there because
Yeah.
she plucks them right out of the water. I didn't know boas did that.
That's so
I had no
cool.
idea. She's a Nicaraguan boa too, and
Okay.
I had no idea they did that. I
Mm.
She's not a picky eater, I guess. And here I am thinking, these guys only hunt
Yeah.
rodents. No, I'm very wrong, apparently. They'll take what they can get,
Wow.
and she's not
Oof.
a picky
I'm
eater.
excited now.
Oh, cat! Once we get off here, I'm gonna be sending you some videos of that Paudarium, give you some ideas. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yeah.
keeping her, and she's still a baby too. She can't be more than 2 feet. No,
Hmm.
she's still real young, but
Yeah.
she uses every bit of that enclosure
Hmm.
because
Oh yeah.
it's one of those really tall Paudariums. It's like maybe 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide by another 2 foot. It's big,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it can hold like 20 gallons of water in the bottom. And I
Oh
have bamboo. I have all kinds of stuff for her to climb on. Miranda
yeah.
did a spray foam background with a
Cool.
cork round in the middle. It's like a
Yeah.
hollow cork round. We have it all
Hmm.
planted out with pothos. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's
Cool.
easily one of my favorite enclosures we've ever put together.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
love
This is
those.
just temporary.
So wait, so which species are you gonna do for the what species of tarantula do you wanna do like a big water feature for? Because that's
My
not
bird.
something that real which one?
My bird eater. Helena.
Really? Real
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So in the wild, is that something that they would typically utilize?
No, but
Or
they live in like a humid environment. So I'm going to do just like a little pond so it can keep that humidity. But
okay.
the land area, I'm going to make it so she can dig really deep because when they're going to lay a sack, they love to dig really deep. And
Mhm.
they need to utilize um that deep hole because the temperature is going to be much cooler at the bottom. So where the
Yeah.
water is going to be really cool at the bottom. So they need that coolness in order to make that egg sac and be viable. rather than having it up top and just having like a regular hide, that's not
Mhm.
going to be viable. So they need to dig down deep where the coolness is, and then you take it from there.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Like this is what I'm envisioning if I was to
Okay.
put together something kind of like that, right? So let's say we have a 20-gallon tall, right? 20-gallon
Okay.
tall tank. I'd pick 20-gallon tall because I want to have a lot of room to work with my substrate layer. So what I'm thinking is I would do a false bottom, right? And we have all that clay aggregate down there.
Yep. Yep.
I'd probably do like maybe 2 inches of that. I do enough to where like I could submerge a pump in one of the corners,
Uh-huh.
and then I would put filter foam, that black like carbon fiber,
Yep.
that carbon filter foam. I would
Mhm.
put that around the pump to separate the clay aggregate from the pump, and I'd put that in the
Okay.
corner. Then I'd put down a screen, like one of those heavy duty screens to where like
Yeah.
hopefully the tarantula is not gonna get down past that screen.
Right, right.
'Cause that would be a concern of mine, and that is sitting in the back of my head, and I wanna know your thoughts on this once I get to the end there. And then I would do, like now keep in mind the pump. Remember what I'm talking about on the pump. So, in that back corner where the pump's at, we're gonna keep that clear of substrate. We're gonna try to keep that segregated from the substrate in a way. Keep that in mind. The rest of it's gonna be, like, real deep, maybe, like, 6 inches of substrate, and
Mhm.
then over where I have the pump at, I'm envisioning like a rock pile, right? Where like all the substrates separated from all these rocks with maybe like
Yeah.
glass dividers. And
Yeah.
that's going to be connected down to that false bottom where it's pumping all the water up from your false bottom reservoir and
Yeah.
making it trickle down the rocks. And then it would trickle back down into your false bottom and just keep, I guess, filtering itself that way. So all your
Yeah.
all your water is down at the bottom and it's creating some moisture and humidity down in that lower part of the substrate where the
Yeah.
spider wants to dig down.
Yep.
That's how I'd try to rig that. But I guess you'd have to really, really make sure that your barrier between your false bottom water reservoir is solid. And then however you would divide that rock pile where the water is trickling down, you'd have to make sure that's super, super solid. Because I'd worried about that leaking and then oversaturating your substrate, and then that would probably cause some kind of fungal issue with your spider.
Mhm.
I think that would be a really complex enclosure, but I think it would be
Well,
super sick if you could do it.
yeah, you can. I wouldn't do the screen thing because the fungal thing, that's actually healthy.
I
But
do
of
know that
course, you don't
some
want too much.
fungals are like, yeah,
Some.
some I do know some fungus is healthy, and there are certain ones that are detrimental, and there's certain ones that are extremely positive. Like there's
Mhm.
certain fungus species and certain mushroom species that actually prey on nematodes, and
Yeah.
nematodes are what's mostly detrimental to your
Yeah.
spider.
Yeah. So I would do a lot of springtails.
Okay.
A
Yeah,
lot.
to eat that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. And be careful with the isopods. So you can do dairy cow isopods. Okay, so I have an episode on Vibes Up with, I forgot what number it is, but she's an expert on isopods. And she actually tells you which isopods are safe to keep with your tarantulas.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I tuned in for that one.
Yeah.
Um yeah, we ended up talking about pseudoscorpions a little bit to
Hmm.
kill mites within isopod colonies. Yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
remember that. She was fascinating to listen to. She was good
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um but dairy cows, no, I breed dairy cows. I keep dairy cows. And I won't even put them in with my animals because I've seen them decimate some stuff before.
Oh,
So
wow.
how how are you doing your dairy cows? Do you supplement their food within
Yeah. Yeah.
enclosures? Like you give them
Yep.
something extra so they don't get hungry
Mhm.
and start eyeballing your spider? Because I know after a
Yep.
molt, like they can just
Hmm.
decimate.
Yeah. So I actually put in my snake shed with them. And I also do, the white calcium for the birds. You know how they
Yeah,
pick on the like
cuddle bone.
bone?
Yeah,
That
yeah, cuddle bone. Comes out of cuttlefish.
they
Yeah.
they love that stuff.
Oh yeah, I do the same. I do the same with mine. I also take like beef bone, like broth bone after I
Uh-huh.
boiled them, and I'll
Yeah.
give those to my isopods as well.
Yep.
That's
So that's what I have here. I have a whole bunch of oranges, snake shed, dead leaves. I actually have a dead mouse in here somewhere that they devoured.
yeah,
So
like they'll strip it down to a skeleton. It's insane, and then
yes,
they'll eat the skeleton after a while.
yep.
I remember I took a cup full of isopods with me to teach a class of kids,
Uh-huh.
and in one of the little bins of isopods, when I scooped them up with their substrate, I had
Yeah.
scooped up a mouse skull with it. And
Oh,
I
that's
had
so
found
cool.
it. Yeah, I had found it while I was showing the kids the isopods, and I was like, "Look, kids, look at this. You see this in my hand?" And they're like, "What is that, Mr. Tristan? Is that a rock?" And one little kid thought it was like a urate, like a piece of urate, because he had a
Uh-huh.
reptile at home, and he knows that sometimes they poop
Yep.
white chunks. He's like, "You're holding
Yep.
a turd." I'm like, "No, this is a skull." And they're
Yeah.
like, "What?" So I get
Yep.
rushed by a bunch of kids, and they're all looking at this mouse skull in my hand, like, "Well, Mr. Tristan, what happened? What happened to it? See those bugs that you guys are all holding?" And they're like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, they ate it."
Hmm.
Like it
Yeah.
was just a collective. But
Yeah. That is so
the kid,
cool.
the kids loved the isopods. Like
Hmm.
oddly enough, don't get me wrong, they loved Bubba, they loved the snakes, they loved the tortoises. But
Hmm.
the isopods were a hit with the kids, like to the
Yeah.
point where I left a bin of isopods with the teacher so like she could make a little isopod culture of her own for the classroom.
Hmm.
And to my knowledge, she still has it, and the kids still love it because they'll come in, look at it every day. They'll bring stuff in to feed the isopods, and they love
That's
it.
so cool. You know what I would love? I am dying. Okay, so you know how in the movie The Mummy they have the flesh eaters, the
Scarabs,
scarab. Yes.
yep, the
Okay, so
gypsy
that's
scarabs.
actually real. Yeah, that's real.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They
I want.
taxidermists use them to strip flesh.
Mm-hmm. I want
They're
them.
I'm not surprised you want that. I know someone who has some actually. They are yeah, he does like I guess he does pinnings. He does a lot of pinnings. They have a booth here at the end of Arizona Renaissance Festival, and they do lots of like skull cleanings. They have
Mhm.
when I saw them last, I had a beaver, some coyote skulls, a raccoon skull,
Oh,
but they're insects pinnings. Brahms bugs. I'll send you a link to their page. Brahms.
okay.
They have some of the most amazing specimens. They have bugs that I've only ever seen in like National Geographic books and
Hmm.
documentaries. There's he had this beetle that was probably like easily like the size of my hand. Look at that big old beautiful bug.
So this is
Is that
two.
multiple
Sorry,
shed? Multiple molts, yeah.
sorry. So this one is Helena. This was her last molt. So this was
So for our
10.
for our audio listeners, she's showing us the molts of her
Oh
very
yeah,
close to us. And
and then
these
this is the
spiders are
male.
not full grown. Yeah,
Look at my
these
hand
spiders are not
compared.
full grown. The
No.
crazy thing about these is that the females get bigger, and her male is a little bit bigger than her female,
Yeah.
which is not typical. Usually,
Yeah.
the females are much, much bigger, and she's not
Right.
full grown yet. And you like for those of
Right.
you watching on YouTube, you saw the size of that spider, like that spider's molt in her hand. That's the
Yeah.
molt. The actual spider itself is bigger. That's why it molted. Every time
Where,
they molt, they get bigger.
yeah, exactly. I'm looking for my uh, tape measure. I just had it too. I'm always losing that. I just had it. Ah, it's right here, right in front of my face.
I'm doing the same thing. Like you have a
Okay.
room. I wish I had a dedicated room for all my animals because mine are spread out everywhere throughout my domicile here. And
So
I'm
the
always losing tongs. Always.
Oh, okay. So the male is at 9 inches, and Helena was at 8 inches at the time of their molt. So
That's
now,
insane.
yeah. So now, so every time they molt, They're an inch bigger than the previous molt. So now, that was last year. So he's probably at 10 or 11, and she's at 10 inches.
Not even full grown, and
Not
their molts their molts are 3 times the
massive.
size of
Yeah.
both of my spiders I have right now. My Arizona blondes are both full grown, both full
Wow.
grown healthy females,
Wow.
3 times the size of what I have.
Hmm.
That is
Oh yeah.
insane.
They can grow massive. Oh yeah.
How are they? How do they? How are they eating mice? Because when I had
Hmm.
my, I've had 2 species of bird eater. I had a salmon pink bird eater. He
Hmm.
was a mature male, and he wasn't very big, like a big max.
Yeah.
And then I had that burgundy. We called it Hagrid. Hagrid was
That's cute.
Hagrid was probably 8 inches, like about the size of one of those molts that you had.
Wow.
Hagrid was a voracious eater, and
Hmm.
anytime we offered Hagrid, and I'm almost certain that Hagrid was female, um,
Oh yeah.
just because of the size. But like I said, the feeding drive on that spider was very strong, strong enough to the point where she knocked the tongs out of my hand, and those were her tongs for a while there. Those tongs belonged to her because I did not have the balls to reach my hand in there and get them.
Where is she? Hi, Helena. Hi,
Oh
baby
yeah,
girl.
look at her. Look at her.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
I like the setup. Got some bones. See, you decorate your stuff. You don't like to leave it
Hmm.
just regular looking. I like that. I like a pretty enclosure. You can't really see my enclosure right here because of the glare from the lights, but
Hmm.
I have grass in there. I have elephant
There's
ear
her.
plants. I have a cycad in there.
I don't know how
Look at
well you can
that.
see that, but that's the male. That's
I
Homer.
can
I mean,
I can barely see Homer. And now I've seen no, you guys at the
yeah.
end here. We'll make sure Kat tells us where all her socials are at where you can go and see all of her stuff. But I've
Yeah.
seen really cool videos of both of those spiders. And they're honestly they're pretty chill.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of you holding Homer and he
Sweetheart.
doesn't care. Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do that with Hagrid because like you walk up to the glass and Hagrid was like, "You want to fight?" Like throwing up that threat. Oh, you want to scrap, homie? What's good? What's
Yeah.
good? You're up and
Put him up.
like, yeah, like ready to throw hands
Oh yeah.
and then throw some ass hairs as well. Oh my God, the ass hairs that Hagrid would throw, dude. Whoa.
Yes. Oh
She'd
yeah.
just turn around and like she'd turn around, back that thing up on you, and just
Oh yeah.
like she
Like,
was throwing money at a strip club.
right.
Dude,
Yeah.
you want some? You want some of this ass hair, homie? No, I don't. Because Theraposa ass hair is probably one of the worst out there. It's gnarly. Like when they want to turn around and throw that ass back at you and just start hitting it like they're just
Yep.
throwing bands at the strip club. Do not get
Oh,
it in your eyes. Do not get it in your
yeah.
mouth. Don't breathe it in through your nose, dude. Wear a mask
Yep.
if you have to. Like
Heck yeah.
I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way, dude. And I had a very mild reaction. And then I found out the longer you're exposed to those, I keep calling them ass hairs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're called
No, it's funny. It's
urticating hairs.
hilarious. I love
They're
it.
called
I love
urticating hairs. And
it.
some of you might have heard us like because we've had other tarantula keepers on the show. You might have
Okay.
heard us talk about this before, where it's akin to like fiberglass shavings
Mm-hmm.
getting in your skin. That's what it's
Hmm.
like, and it's
Itchy.
and itchy, and then you think like it's over after a couple days have passed, and then like you touch your hand or your brush like a part where there's still a hair
Yep.
embedded in your skin up against something, and you're like, oh, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Ass hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's
Sometimes
something
I'm
else.
sleeping or whatever. I'm just like, oh, and I breathe. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's something else. Like I made the mistake originally of keeping Hagrid in a fish tank, right? One of those
Yep.
topless fish tanks, and
Yep.
I housed her with a screen top.
Hmm.
And when your spiders at that size and they're capable of flicking those hairs much
Oh yeah.
further than other species, a screen
Mhm.
top's not the way to go. It's
Yeah.
not the way to go.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way as well. So modifications were made. Modifications were
Mhm.
made.
Good. Yeah.
My my Arizona blondes, they don't kick hairs. Well, the newer one, she did, but now that I have her in a, I guess,
Container.
properly, like a proper
Yeah.
highly housed environment,
Yep.
she's much happier now. See,
There you go.
I have the privilege of living in these animals' native range. So what I can do is I can go out into the desert, not too far from my place, and I can basically
Mhm.
take a snapshot of the ground. Like I can I can do a Minecraft, take that
Yeah.
little square, if you will, and put that into a
Yeah.
paint. And what
Mhm.
I have discovered with Arizona blondes is they love a very deep substrate, and the
Mhm.
closer you can make a deep substrate for these Arizona blondes mimic what they have out in the wild, which is our Arizona dirt,
Yep.
they're gonna thrive. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
thrive. So what
Mhm.
I did for my girl Precious was I went out and I got some pieces of an old dead saguaro, and it kind of looks like a little dome piece, and I used that
Mm.
as her hide, and I
Yeah.
put that kind of right on top of this big Arizona clay dirt mound, if you will.
Oh,
And
okay.
what she did was she went up underneath that piece of like saguaro husk, I guess,
Yep.
and excavated down into that and made herself a little cavity. And then
Yeah.
she spun web all over and
Mhm.
kind of sealed herself in there. And she's
Yep.
been there all winter. And I'll periodically like peek in there with a little flashlight and
Yep.
see if she's still moving. But I
Yeah.
think she's laying an egg sack in there. That or she was just bedded down
Oh.
for the winter.
Could be either or. Yeah. But yeah, they are fossorial. So.
Especially the females, like 9 times out of 10, when you're out here walking around in the desert, out here in the Sonoran Desert, and you see
Mhm.
a tarantula cruising along,
Yeah.
it's usually a boy
Yeah.
looking for a girl. He's looking for a girlfriend, and he's hoping he's not gonna get eaten in the process.
Exactly.
Whether
Yep.
that's by a tarantula hawk or
Oh.
a bird or the female that he's out trying to find. Because
Mhm.
if a lot of people don't know this, when tarantulas mate, a lot of times the male gets eaten.
Yep.
Not all species, but most of them do.
Right. Yep.
Most.
Exactly. Oh
That's
yeah.
why.
Look at you.
But
You
see, I
graduated.
know a thing or two. I know a thing or two, man. I used to be
Yep.
terrified of the things, and now I know a thing or two about 'em. See, that's
Exactly.
the power. Like that's the power of knowledge, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mhm. Good job. I'm so
Where,
proud of
well, thank you. See,
you.
I've learned a thing or two in my seasoned old age now. The root of most fear, in my
Mhm.
opinion, when it comes to human beings, is a lack of understanding.
Mhm.
Whether that's a lack of
Absolutely.
knowledge of someone else's culture, lack of knowledge of a certain animal, lack of knowledge
Yep.
of a certain area or phenomenon, like the UFO thing. We just don't know what that is. That's what causes a lot of fear and anxiety in people. We don't know
Mhm.
what's going. Um, actually, this is the best example. This is the best example. We live in a world where finding the absolute truth is next to impossible. We live in a world where AI is so powerful that it's pretty easy to trick people. Not all of
Mhm.
us, but there's a lot of people out there that can get tricked by AI. You know
Oh
how
yeah.
often I get people sending me videos of some snake or some spider doing something off the wall crazy, and I'm like,
AI.
there's no way that would ever happen. Yeah, AI.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or let's look at geopolitics, for example. You'll have people saying that a certain part of the world is an absolute godforsaken hellhole. Don't go
It's
there. You'll
not.
get robbed. You'll get killed. See, I grew up going to Mexico, like driving down there in a motorhome with my grandparents almost every other summer. We were completely safe, like, but all the time we were doing that, you get on the news, they say, "Oh no, don't go down there. Cartels will rob you." Does bad things happen? Yeah, bad things happen all over the world, but
Mm-hmm.
The world's not that scary, not that
Yeah,
bad. You
exactly.
gotta go out there, and a lot of times you gotta go find it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
Discover
go
it for
find
yourself.
Yeah, you gotta go out there and you gotta find it for yourself. I
Like,
definitely lost my train of thought, and that's not where I was going with this. But anyways,
that was a
anyways,
good.
moving on.
Oh,
Well, yeah, like people, it's just I remember where was I? It's a lack of understanding, and
yeah.
it's a fear of not knowing what you don't know. Um,
Ex-
I didn't know too much about spiders before my bite, and when I got bit, I was even more afraid of them. And then it
mm,
took Miranda dragging me over to an arachnid table at a reptile expo, and the guy running the booth put a spider in my hand, and from that point forward, I just wanted to learn more, and the more I learned, the less fear I had to the point where I
mhm.
ended up owning a bird eater.
Yeah.
So i- if you're scared of something, if something out there kind of frightens you,
Mm-hmm.
I challenge you to learn more about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might find that the fear you had was just a lack of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might find that that fear you had is completely justified. It really kind of just depends on the situation. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, I could know as much as I needed to about great whites, but if you were to stick me in the ocean with one, I'd still be scared. I'd
Yeah, me
still be
too.
freaked out because that's a great white. But
Yeah.
at least I know some stuff about it, you know? It, it's it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a slippery slope with
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and
sometimes
it, and it can
if
produce
you yeah, and sometimes if you're scared of something and you actually find out the truth about it and and you have it in your hands, it might surprise you and you're like, "Oh, I like this now." So it's
yeah,
like you
but
never
you can't
know.
do that with a great white. You
No, no,
can't do
no,
that with a
no.
great white.
Don't do that.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
some things that kinda just well, they deserve a healthy respect. I
exactly.
I have enough of a healthy respect to not get in the water when I know a great white's around.
Yeah.
We'll put
Oh,
it that way.
yep.
Um, well, we're kinda winding to the point where if Carrot was with us, we would
Mhm.
ask his side of the questions, and what Carrot usually dives into is the mental health side of the show. And the
Mhm.
reason we have Carrot doing that side of the show is because he's a much better orator, if you will. That man can speak, and he can speak beautifully. And when we talk about mental health, I want someone who can really, really speak the way he does to get the message out there to
Right.
people. And I struggle with that because I'm me. But we're gonna give this a go. So with your your animals, your spiders, and your other hobbies, what do they do for you? Now, the example I always give is what Bubba had done for me in the past. Um, long story short, that animal coming into my life saved me. And going further into the reptile hobby as I have because of him, basically put me in a place where I could make mental health a priority because I wasn't. Like me pouring myself into that animal made me realize that I was pouring nothing into me, and that's what this hobby has done for me. And
Mm.
what is your hobby done for you?
That's a really good question. I actually love that. So, what has it done for me or what these animals has done for me is make me feel significant. With my mental health growing up, I have a lot of stuff, but
We all do, sister. We all do.
yeah,
I'm finding that out more and more every day.
yeah. I usually don't like to tell people and stuff like that, but it's gotten to the point where I'm comfortable and you can whoever sees it, hears it. I don't care anymore. I'm just you take me as I am. The real ones will stay. That's how I look at it now. So, just to clarify, I'm the good psychopath. I'm not the bad ones that you see on TV. That's fake. But yeah, I have DID, dissociative identity disorder. So back then it was used to be called multiple personality disorder.
Hmm.
Um, and I also have uh, psychopathy, but it's not like the bad one. It's where my brain lacks empathy and compassion for like just people that
Well,
don't have remorse and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
What people don't understand is that psychopathy is it's a spectrum.
yes,
It's like autism in a way. There's different
hmm
layers to it, and it affects people in different ways. That's not
exactly.
something most people know.
hmm So as a kid, I would be trained to know what sadness was what happiness was. I was always kept in different classes so that they would evaluate me and try to help me understand what those feelings were because I never cried. I don't know what crying is. Of course, I do know now, but as a child, it was very hard for me. And the only thing that brought me happiness was animals and life and death. So, but now I have the so strong urge to help these animals be free from bad reputations, from having a bad reputation.
Yeah, you wanna get
So,
away from and show
yeah,
people what they are. That's a beautiful thing,
exactly.
Kat. That's a
hmm
beautiful thing.
Yeah. So I grew up being insignificant, and these animals with bad reputation are insignificant. But now, with us being their voice, they are significant. So that's
I
how I
love
can
that.
relate. hmm
Kat, that's a beautiful thing. That is amazing.
Thank
See, I
you.
think you and I, we see eye to eye there. I think one of the things you do with some of the content that you put out there is educational.
hmm
You're trying to show
hmm
people these animals are not monsters. They're
Right.
not out to get you. That's what I like
hmm
to do when I bring my animals into a classroom and show these kids, especially my snakes and my monitors. So
hmm
Savannah monitors got a bad rap. They got a
Oh,
real bad rap, and it's not entirely their fault. I mean, think about it. Vast majority of these animals, savanna monitors, they're wild caught.
mhm.
They're plucked out of their native habitat,
Wow.
manhandled, thrown in a bag, and then thrown in a box, and then thrown, across an ocean,
Mhm.
weeks at a time, no sunlight, and then they get thrown into a pet store, and
Wow.
someone like me walks in and goes, "Hey, I want that." And then these animals, they just have a hard time acclimating because they're
Mhm.
not being kept at the right temperatures. They're not
Yep.
being fed the right food.
Yeah.
So of course, they're gonna be pretty mean. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna be pretty pissed off. They're not a happy animal because if you were to go
Mhm.
through that, you'd be pissed off too. That's
Mhm.
why I respect Penny. That's why I give Penny here. She's actually right here on her log. She's being social.
Mhm.
You can't see her because of the light, but she's right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
I give her space because this animal is traumatized.
Yeah.
This animal is the oh, I can move the camera.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I can move the camera. Look at that. Alright.
Oh,
Look
okay.
look at me learning new things. Okay. So,
Where is it?
see, there's her melon
Yeah.
right there.
Mhm.
There's there's one of her feet. See,
Mhm.
this is a step in the right direction because normally when I'm in this room and Miranda's in this room and we're moving around, we're making a lot of noise, she'll sit
Yeah.
underneath that cork log and she
Oh.
won't move. But what she's doing right now is she's sitting there, she's watching me. She's learning what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
monitors are extremely inquisitive animals.
Intelligent. Oh yeah.
Yeah, extremely intelligent.
Oh yeah.
And part of the reason they got that name monitor is because they'll sit and they'll kind of just monitor their
Monitor.
surroundings. Yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
But yeah, now we got little Penny in the background. Sweet little Penny. Yeah. Now
Nice.
I'm gonna show you what happens when I try to interact with her. I'm gonna show you why
Yeah.
I give her space and respect her space. Because this animal is a traumatized animal. He does not like
Okay.
humans. So I'll tell you a little bit more about Penny too.
Okay.
So, hey Pen. Hey hon. Oh, you're being sweet. Oh my God, cat. You're getting to see something special. Normally,
I know.
she'll either charge my hand or she'll dart to the other side of the enclosure, but she's kind
Yeah,
of just
yeah.
retreating back into where she feels safe and hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a milestone right there. That's cool that you got to see that.
Aw.
Now, when I got her, she was at death's door.
Oh
This animal
wow.
was days away from death. She was emaciated. She was covered in stuck shed, like covered in layers and layers of stuck shed. To the point where like she was a dull gray almost,
Mm-hmm.
and she wouldn't move on her own. She would not eat on her own. She would not drink on her own. We had to take a syringe, and I think this is part of the reason why like she does not like me. She does not trust me because I
Mm.
was the guy that had to take a syringe full of um,
Ah,
calcium, water, and electrolytes and shove
yeah,
it down her throat. That's traumatizing,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
she remembers that. Like when she sees my face, she remembers that.
Yeah.
That's why she gets freaked out when I come around. But if I
Mm.
didn't do that, she wouldn't be with us. I wouldn't have Penny. Like
Wow.
that animal was on death's door, and now she's extremely healthy now, and
Mhm. She
acts
built
like
up
a
that
monitor
trust.
should. Um, I wouldn't call it trust at this point. I would call it she tolerates my presence at this point.
Okay.
Like
Oh yeah.
as you saw, she sort of tolerates my presence.
Okay.
Before today, that wouldn't
Mhm.
happen. That wouldn't happen. Yeah, Penny's a very special critter to me.
Yeah.
She's
So
my miracle baby.
sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Reptar right there, that crested gecko, he has the same story. And he tolerates me and I could now open the door and he's just fine, but I will not reach my hand in there because he will bite and turn into a devil. But yeah, like
Spicy Crescent.
we huh?
He's a spicy Crescent.
Yeah, he is a gremlin. But yeah, now he tolerates me. Let's just sit that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So back onto the mental health track because
Mhm.
we're you and I are so easy to get like off track. We're both that way. Um,
Yeah.
so they basically helped you in a way find yourself. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
I find that to be a common theme within our hobby, within our community. I find that
Mhm.
most of us reptile keepers and arachnid keepers, we we were always different. We were always like that different kid,
Yeah.
that
That
we were the kids at the
Wednesday,
playground. Yeah,
that Wednesday add-on.
usually we were that kid, usually
Yeah.
growing up.
Oh yeah.
And these animals have a way of helping us accept who
Who we
we
are.
are. And
Mhm.
I kind of grew up because my background growing up, I grew up in downtown Chandler, Phoenix, Arizona. Chandler's one of the suburbs of Phoenix, and I was the minority actually. Like white kids in that part of town are the minority. I was
Mm.
like one of five white kids in a class of 100 in my sixth grade class, and
Mhm.
I grew up getting bullied for being tall and white.
Okay.
I always felt and being dyslexic. Like I had an IEP, so like you, I got pulled out and went into other classrooms so I could be
Mhm.
evaluated
Yep.
for my learning disability, my dyslexia.
Yep.
And I would get singled out for that too. So I always
Mhm.
felt like I was other, like I was something that
Yeah.
didn't belong. But
Mhm.
when it was with my animals, or when I was just around animals or out in nature,
Yeah.
I didn't feel other. I didn't feel like I didn't belong. And as I got older, you know, I started to realize that there's a community around this. And it wasn't till I got out of the army and back into the reptile scene that that community actually began to be more than just, yeah, it's something I know about and there's some cool people out there too. Now I'm a member of that community. And
Yeah.
it feels more like a family, you
Mhm.
know? Because when I'm around these people, when I talk to people like you, people like Kyle, people like Brooke
Yeah.
and Beth down in Australia, I
Mhm.
feel like I'm amongst my people,
Yeah.
and I feel like I can be me, and I'm not gonna be ridiculed for what I look
Mhm.
like or how I sound. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna be ridiculed, it's because I'm not keeping my animals the right way, and that's something I should be ridiculed for, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
I I find that the community that we find ourselves in is amazing. You just gotta
Exact
find the right people. Like, stay
Mhm.
away from the crazy Facebook groups that'll just
Oh, yeah.
trash you for keeping the
Yeah.
smallest thing wrong in an enclosure, but find those people. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what hobby you're in. I don't
Mhm.
care if you're a reptile keeper, an arachnid keeper. I don't care if you're a musician. Any hobby out there, go find your people. Because if you
Exactly.
ever felt like Kat and I did, if you felt like you were other, there's people out there that know how you feel.
Yeah.
So go find that community because that community that can save you, like it saved
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, with all these things going on, that's just horrible. Like, one war after the next, or this, that, or the other, or God, politics. Like that's something I never talk about on this, this podcast because I refuse to. It's such an inflammatory thing that divides all of us.
He
But
does.
you know what brings us together? Our hobbies. Our
Exactly.
hobbies. Like, like Democrat, Republican, red, blue. I don't give a damn about any of that. That all just
Mhm.
divides us. You know what I
Yeah.
am first? I'm an American first. And all the people that I share this country with, the land that we all share together, we're all Americans first. That Democrat crap, that Republican crap, all of that just divides. What we need to remember is that we all live in this country together. We're all Americans. We're all on the same team. And I think deep down, the vast majority of us, we all want the same thing. We want to live in peace. We want a
Yes.
place where our nieces and nephews and kids and our grandkids can grow up and pursue the hobbies that they love, pursue the things that they love. We all just want peace. And
Yep.
I feel like
That's beautiful.
so many of us can't find it.
Mhm.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't have what you and I have, Kat. What a lot of other people I've had on this podcast have is
Oh,
something
yeah.
that they can leave work, go home to, and smile at. So many
Mhm.
people out there don't have that. And that's why this work I think our humanity as a species, we're going through an epidemic right now. We're going through an epidemic that does not affect our health physically, but in here, in the heart.
Yeah.
We got an infection in here in the heart that's just festering.
Mhm.
And I think that if more people were to find that thing that brings them joy, that rock can start to heal, like it
Exactly.
did for me. I was I was such an angry, angry, just mean piece of shit before I found this hobby.
Wow.
I was I was a I was a mess. I was a mess, dude. And God, it and Kat, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
You are
Because
my brother and everyone
your
else
words
too.
the other day, your words the other day helped me out. I was bummed the other day.
Mhm. It wasn't
Well,
just me.
yeah, it wasn't just you. Like I said, that whole community, that whole family that
Yeah.
we have found ourselves in, they rallied around us.
Exactly.
And
He's
they
there
did.
a whole bunch of them just straight up to you quickly.
Indeed, yeah, indeed, dude.
Mhm.
It was a humbling.
Yeah.
Well, Kat, we've been at this a hot minute, and it's probably getting late over on your end. So, how would you like to end this, sister? Do you have any parting comments for our listeners?
Um, yes, I want everyone, I'm actually going to steal it from you, Tristan. I want everyone to not only face what you fear, but to appreciate it. Appreciate the fear, because if you didn't have the fear of whatever it is that you're afraid of, you shouldn't be calling yourself human. So, what I want you to do is find what you are afraid of and find one fact about it and appreciate that fact and then grow from there. That's
I
all.
love it. I love it. Well, Kat, tell our listeners where we can find you, where we can go and support you.
Oh, thank you. My Instagram, Arachnid Cat.
She changed her username to Cryptic Cat after we recorded this.
On YouTube, on the Untamed and Unhinged Reptiles Podcast Channel Network. Web Wonders at 7 p.m. Eastern Tuesdays. And on Thursdays, Vibes Up, 7 p.m. Eastern. So Tuesdays is Tarantula Talk, and Thursdays is Reptile Positive Talk. So find me on those channels. And in addition, on the Big Homies channel, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Tarantulas After Dark with me and co-host Joe. So catch us there.
They're good shows. I've seen them all. Good shows, and
Mhm.
the comment section's always fun because there's just a little community in the comment section too.
Yeah,
Just a bunch of supportive people. So
yeah.
definitely, guys, go check her out. Go show her some love because she's a sweet, sweet chick. She knows a lot of cool stuff about a lot of cool critters. And honestly, I mean, why not? Why not go learn something? If you're scared of spiders, go learn something because she's got some cool videos and it might help you out. Help me out. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an episode of The Hobby Hanger. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we do, pop over to the Patreon, give us some support there. Find us on YouTube, The Hobby Hanger Podcast. Find us on Instagram, The Hobby Hanger Podcast. You can even find us on Facebook. Yet again, can you guess it? The Hobby Hanger Podcast. Find us there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I hope you liked it. And as always, stay safe.
Bye.
Breaking down reviews, got the hottest takes. Dropping all the scoop like a chef serve cakes. Tune in every week, you know what to do. Join the Hobby Hangout, we got room for you. Grab your headphones, kick back, relax. We got the stories, true facts to the max. From east to west, we got the whole globe wrapped. Tristan and Connor got this podcast talking about hobbies, baby, every single show. Chilling with the best, let the good vibes flow. Here, time to unwind. Let Tristan and Connor ease your mind.